Hi, everybody. This is the perfect time of year to talk about fitness and going to the gym. Everybody wants to start off with great intentions at the beginning of the year. I thought about those great intentions for over 30 years, and it didn't finally work until about 2 years ago. So I thought I would talk about the handful of things that worked for me. And I am not a fitness influencer, so maybe the mindset that I have might apply to some everyday common folk like myself that are out there. So, like so many people, I started a few times and quit shortly after because it wasn't a habit. I also, for 30 years, had thought about it, wanted to do it, talked about it, but never actually started. And when you don't start, it's really hard to keep going. So here's some things that I did that really made a difference. And to me, I didn't actually know what I was doing. It just worked. I kind of stumbled on these right things. And it's hard at times and you're challenged, but I found some ways to kind of get through those challenges. So, number one, I think you have to know why you're going to the gym. Everybody says, well, I want to go to the gym to be healthier and to feel better and to make sure I live longer, or to maybe look better, lose weight, gain weight, whatever the case might be. And those are good reasons, but it's not enough. You need more than just that. Is it To me, it was also about mental health. It was about emotional health. When I'm feeling good and I'm at the gym, I can kind of disconnect from stress. I can calm down. I can think clearly. I start feeling better about myself. I just start feeling better in general. I rest better. I am therefore better at home, and I'm better with family, and I'm better with friends, and I'm better in so many ways that really helps my overall sense. So I figured out why I wanted to go, why I needed to go. So I think that's step one, is really know the why behind why you're going to the gym, and then hold on to that and cherish it. The number two thing I think you have to do is you've got to actually find a gym, find an atmosphere where you're going to want to go, where you're going to be comfortable going. And that might be in your basement, that might be at a local gym, whatever it is, you have to be drawn to that space. For me, what it is I need lots of equipment. I don't want to have to be waiting on people to finish one thing and feel like I'm interrupting or rushing them. So I belong to a bigger gym. I like a bigger gym because there's lots of equipment. I can always find something. And if something like free weights are all taken up, I can go to cables or I can go to machines or vice versa. I can always find ways to work out the muscle group that I'm working on. It's also a good vibe, a good environment there. There's music, there's good energy. I see a good diverse spread of age and people. It's not just a bunch of big muscular gym guys or a bunch of fitness influencers trying to, set up cameras all over. It's people like me, people young, people older. I like the feel of it, and there's energy around it. I also think that gym has to be easy to get to. The location is huge. It needs to be kind of on your way home, and it's just you eliminate the reasons not to go. Oh, it's out of the way. It's going to be packed, so on and so forth. So find a place that really works for you. I like the decor. I like that there's TV. So in between a set or a rep or something, I can not a rep, but in between sets, I can kind of catch what's on TV. There's a cinema room where I go. So if I want to go in to a treadmill or a bike, I can, in front of a big screen, watch movies. I like movies. So the time just kind of escapes and goes away when I can just chug away in front of a screen like that, in front of a good movie that I like. It it has a lot of things that I need to keep me coming back consistently. So I love that. The other thing that I think that's really important for me is to always be ready. And what I mean by that is I always have my gym bag ready to go in my car. Even if I think that day I'm not going to go, you never know what happens. You never know how you're feeling. Be always ready to go. So I have a gym bag that always has my shoes, always has water, pre-workout. It has everything that I need to be successful. And I'm there ready at any given time. So I pack up my gym bag after every single workout, and I make sure that it's in my car every day when I go out, and I've always got it on me. So I think always being ready is key. And I think if you can always have a consistent time of day. So some people are early. I work with a guy who goes at like 4 a.m. every morning. Hats off to him. I love that. I could never do that. As it is, I leave for work at 5:30 in the morning. So I go after work every day during the week, and then I go early morning on the weekends. So that's my rhythm, that's my routine, that's what I need to have happen, is kind of the same thing all the time. When you have that routine, you're less likely to think about, oh, should I go today, or when am I going to go? Maybe I don't have time to go. You eliminate all of that by just not having to think about it and just go do it. So that's big for me, is always be ready. The fourth thing is kind of ironic a little bit, because the name of my channel is Jeff True Thinks, and I do think a lot, but I think the key to this is to not think. Don't think about, should I go, shouldn't I go? Well, what am I going to do when I do go? Have all of that worked out beforehand, that you're just going. You just automatically, at this time of day, when you're heading home, I'm going. I pull into the parking lot, I get out, I walk in. I'm not thinking about should I or shouldn't I. I think in the last year, and I went 267 days in 2024. So I'm really happy about that. I think I only walked out of the gym or decided not to walk in when I was intending to less than a handful of times. And it was because I realized I either forgot my gym bag, or I was maybe coming down with a cold, or wasn't feeling very well, or something changed at home that, oh, I need to go get my daughter, or I need to go home to do blank, and I can't go. I can't have time to go to the gym today. So don't think, just go. Now, once you're there, then you can do your thinking, which is what I do. So when I'm actually there working out and in between sets, I'm thinking about what I'm doing at that workout, the next exercise. But I also have in my head, I go enough, I have a routine and a habit in place that I know what exercise I'm doing next, how many sets, how many reps, how much weight I'm going to try to do. Now, I always have to adjust. If I'm feeling like that weight is a little heavy, I need to back it off a little bit. I make those adjustments. But I also take the time at the gym to think about my kids, my family, my wife, my friends, work. I try to get creative and think of different things, because I do kind of clear my head as I'm in between sets. Now, to be honest with you, I also get sidetracked by people watching. I can't help myself, but people watch. I mean, some of people doing like crazy exercises, and I'm going, what in the world are they doing? That is crazy. So when I'm not getting distracted by people watching, I'm thinking. So that's key for me. But the big question here is, how do you break the habit? Or more specifically, how do you get into the good habit of just going? In my opinion, and I went for months at one point and then stopped. I went for 6 months at one point and stopped. And this was probably 3, 4, 5 years ago, something like that. I'm 53 right now. So I started going consistently at 51. It was about 2.5 years ago. And what pushed me over the edge was all those things I had already talked about: finding the right gym, getting the routine, being ready, not thinking about it, just doing. Those are the things that I needed to push through. And ultimately, I prioritized my mental well-being, my emotional well-being, my physical health, so that I'm around as long as possible for my family. But the key to it, as I think, is to go through 12 months, to go through a year. I think you have to get through every season. Because some people might be great through the winter, but once the weather gets nice, they say, well, I'm going to take my workout to outside and do walking and running. Okay, I think what I would do is add those things to the gym workout, not replace it. You could reduce the gym workout, the number of days in the week, but still go. I think that's critical to still go. Because when you're always shifting gears and switching from the gym to exclusively outside to then getting back into changing your routine up is a real hard thing to do, because you're more likely to just 5 times turns into 4 times, turns into 2 times, turns into once every month, and then you're done. So I think you need a habit of 12 months going through the seasons. And I live in the Chicago area, so we have full seasons here. So I think you've got to get through the Christmas and New Year's holidays. You've got to get through winter. You've got to get through spring. You've got to get through summer when kids are off school and there's all the outside activities. And you're gone on vacation and you're coming back. After vacation, I just got back from a week vacation yesterday. And for me, when I get back from a vacation, it's imperative that the next day I am back in the gym, and then I'm back. There's times where you have to push yourself through those things and know yourself and help yourself through those challenges. So I encourage you to really get to know yourself, use some of these tips that I've been explaining or talking about. This is what at least worked for me. This is what I would like to see my kids incorporate, because they have gone to the gym at times and then they've backed off and they aren't quite built into that habit yet. And like I said, I think it takes a constant year, and you'll do it when you prioritize it above so much else. And ultimately, you're better at work. You're better for you. You're better for your family. You're better for friends. You're just better all around, physically, mentally, emotionally. So go hit the gym. Thanks.